So what was I trying to do in that little opening sequence? Basically, I'm trying to use chromatics in my chord progression to create movement throughout. And why I can use chromatic movement with that chord progression is because in that opening little bit, each chord shares this note here, E, on the D string. So I'm starting with an A shape with a C sharp, which C sharp is the third of A. So that's like A over C sharp, I guess. Then I'm moving into C, once again, C, E. Then I'm throwing this note in, which is a second fret on the G string and a B string. So that's like what is that? That's a C with a sixth and a major seventh in it. Then I go to this shape, which is your basic E chord. And then I end up here on a B flat. And then from there, I just kind of used my ear to come up with a chord that sounded like a chord. So I ended up with this, which is that's not a chord that I would grab. Normally, it's the chromatic movement that kind of led me to that. So I got a B flat. It's on the A string, I got a 1. D string, I got a 2. G string, I got a 1. And B string, I got a 2. So that would be, I guess I could call that a B flat minor with a flat 5 and a dominant 7. Sounds like this. To me, that starts to sound like music. And why is that? Why does that work? I've been doing stuff like this for years, not really understanding, just kind of like using my ear to get to the next thing. But as he does with so many things when it comes to music, Tom Bukovac very succinctly he gave an explanation of why, how you can connect the chords from one to the next. Doesn't really explain it, but it's an explanation. And again, it's the key to this whole thing. Is that E note. That E note on the D string is in all those chords. So it starts to make sense as a listener. You're not just randomly trying to pile chords on to each other that don't quote unquote make sense. I hate to use that term when you're trying to be creative, having it make sense. It doesn't need to make sense. It can be whatever you want it to be. But for the music that I grew up on, it starts to sound like that. So this whole concept, and again, I never really thought about it the way Tom offered that explanation, but I mean, you hear Stairway to Heaven's a good example of a chord progression that has chromatic movement in it, or Dear Prudence, maybe there's a little bit of chromaticism in there, but there's also like pedaling on the A and the E strings. It probably more connects those chords, but yeah, I dig the sound of chromatics built into the chord progression. So like I said, when I played this the other day, I was like, oh, that sounds kind of like music. So I came up with some more chords, and came up with a song. So if you've made it this far, please stick around for my low concept, low production value music video. Thanks. Build another bar.